The president's defecating in public. Imagine where we're going to be by October.
Brian Stelter is back. Guess who's back? Back again. Stelter's back. Tell your friends. Stelter and his neatly clipped hair are back. And he's back primarily to tell you, it's the same thing, Brian Stelter is always telling you the same thing. Why don't you listen to me? You shouldn't listen to me. He claims that actually Joe Biden never shut himself that day. Now, as you know, that as a spiritual man, I take no delight in an elderly person defecating. I can't think of a context where I would delight in an elderly person defecating, perhaps on the toilet, on time, as a result of a high-fiber diet. That's the only way. But what our man Stelter claims is that this whole thing happened as a result of cheap fakery. Cheap fakery is a new phrase that they want you to sort of hook onto, a bit like, I don't know, Coke Zero or something. It's just a new thing to care about, cheap fakes. Here is Brian Stelter complaining that we should be listening to him.
The president's defecating in public. Imagine where we're going to be by October. The White House press secretary used the phrase cheap fakes, the idea of cheap fakes. Let me explain what that is to people. We've been worried for years about AI deep fakes, that computer-generated images are going to trick people into believing something that's totally false. Cheap fakes are a little bit simpler. They're cheap. They're just distorted, out-of-context videos, chopped up in certain ways, constructed in certain ways. That's what we're seeing. That's what the Biden administration, the Biden campaign is so worried about right now. But make no mistake, they are worried about this. This is a real problem. This is not some made-up fiction. The videos are oftentimes made up, but the problem is real. Because some of us, Abby, watch a 40-minute speech by Biden. We see the full context. Other people only watch a 5-second clip. And that's going to be something that's going to, I suspect, follow Biden for the rest of this campaign.
What it's really about, as it always is you should trust us, not yourself. Amidst the myriad chaos of that clip, were you still able to detect Brian Stelter's central message? We watched the entire 40 minutes of a clip. You only watch 5 seconds of a clip. Do you see that what the legacy media's fundamental issue is they don't like you being able to access information directly. Now, if you look at the last 15 minutes of this show, you can see that we don't have the capacity for duplicity. We can only give you the online space's primary currency, authenticity. That's all we can offer you, is an authentic take on CNN or legacy media elsewhere, or the origins of a particular conflict. We can't offer you what they do, which is a 360 global take on international politics or domestic politics that excludes, oddly, nuance. There is a kind of streamlined approach to information. All of us are aware these days that if you watch one particular silo of information, you could be absolutely, resolutely certain that Israel's perspective on the Middle Eastern conflict is 100% correct, that they have their right to their sovereignty. But if you watched a different silo, you would have the exact opposite opinion, that this war has to be ended immediately. You would start describing it differently and using certainly more aggressive language. The fact is, though, that we need to use these spaces to create nuance and conversation. And until we're able to do that, we're in pretty serious trouble.
Hey, this is exciting. We've got a great partner today. It's Rumble. But beyond Rumble, it's Rumble's latest venture. Let me ask you first, are you a Sleepy Joe type character with zero cognitive performance, struggling to muster focus and brain power for basic things like running the United States of America? You've got to stop drinking woke liberal coffee that hates you and your way of life and start your day by drinking Rumble's very own 1775 coffee. This is going to be the best tasting coffee you've ever had. Seriously good, ethically sourced from a family farm in the high altitude mountains of Bolivia. Not in the Bolivian lowlands run not by a family but by a single man still living with a pet. No! Instead of waking up and drinking your big corporation owned woke ideology coffee that's probably making you sick from the pesticides it's sprayed with, try Rumble's 1775 revolutionary coffee. Support freedom of speech. Build a parallel economy that actually values you and loves you. My favourite? It's dark, of course. I've always found the lure of the dark irresistible. I'm sorry, how can I stay mad at you? But you're just going to have to wait over there for a little while. Level up your morning routine with the 1775 coffee. Sleep all night knowing your hard-earned dollary dues are going towards supporting freedom-loving creators like me on Rumble. Visit 1775coffee.com now, pick up your first bag, use the code BRAND to save 10% on your first order. Oh, come on. Why choose, you know?
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.